Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So real quick before I get into the topic of today's video, I just want to say thanks to everybody who watched the last video. The support on it was just way more than I thought it would be. Some of you guys messaged me and on like Discord and inboxed me privately, and I was talking to a couple of you guys, so thanks for that. Things are better now than they were yesterday. Obviously, things aren't perfect, but friendship still exists. Let's put it that way. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Kind of resolved myself to that fact, but we'll see. See what happens. But I want to talk about the Knicks versus Pacers series because This is the Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? We're back. Everybody said we weren't supposed to be here, and, well, we've been kicking ass and taking names the entire playoffs. So, the thing is, I think we can win this series. I'm just going to say that. I think we can win the series in 6 games. I don't think it's going to be easy. It will be 6 or 7. I really don't think this is going to be an easy series. It really depends on the bench unit. That's the thing this whole series is going to come down to. The bench unit is going to have to perform. The Knicks actually have a little bit more this year than they did last year. They still have Cam Payne. They still have Miles McBride. Mitchell Robinson's back. You have their starting 5, which is fucking insane. So the bench unit is going to have to show up. You know, we have Ben Mathurin this year, whereas we didn't have him last year, which is a huge improvement. Everybody on the team has gotten better. Aaron Nesmith has gotten better. Obi Toppin has gotten a lot better since last year. TJ McConnell is still TJ McConnell. Thomas Bryant is going to need to provide some big minutes, and Tony Bradley if he plays. I can't believe I'm saying that, but Mitchell Robinson is a guy you have to stop. But it's going to be a dogfight. I understand they just beat the Celtics. They did beat an injured Celtics team where Jason Tatum went down, and now, Boston's forced to play in maybe a different way than they normally would, where it's like a 2-man isolation game. Now they actually have to play as like a team unit around Jaylen Brown. Obviously, that proved to be too much for them against New York. First game was all right, but the second game where they, the game after that where they played New York, didn't go well. So New York is a good team. I'm not going to sit here and say they're bad just because I'm a just because I'm a Pacers fan. I'm not going to sit here and just bash the other fucking team. I will say this, Paul Pierce did, upload a kind of disconcerting video. I think it was on Instagram or something, saying that it's a foregone conclusion that we're gonna beat the Knicks. So Paul Pierce, I like the confidence, but unfortunately it worries me now that you're just so confident in this and then we get our ass kicked. But it's going to be a fun series. It's going to be a fun series to watch. It's going to be a fun series to cover. Jalen Brunson is back. Jalen Brunson is still Jalen Brunson now at this point. I will say this. I think the thing that's going to matter the most in this series is obviously it's going to be bench play, but how Tom Thibodeau manages his starters. And the reason I say that is because Tom Thibodeau has not shown any inclination that he has learned anything from last season, unfortunately. The reason I say that is because in the last game they played against the Celtics, okay, they were up by 33 points with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, and Josh Hart, I believe, were all still in the game. And even at the end of the game, he checked OG Anunoby back in. And I'm like, dude, if you're up by 33 points with 6 minutes left in the quarter, sit your starters. Let your bench unit go out there and fucking play. Let them get some burn because you're going to need them against the Pacers. And for whatever reason, Thibs is set in his ways, man. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's trying to kill them boys. I'm just going to call it what it is. I feel like this man has a fucking death wish for everybody on his team. But, like, it was mind-blowing to me that I'm like, yo, the Knicks are up by 33 points. Why is Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns still in the game? Like, does he care that much about defense that, like, you don't think you can put your bench players in for, like, 2 or 3 minutes? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can get away with that. If you're up by 33 points, you can get away with that. At least a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Okay? I don't think that's a big ask. Yeah, you're playing the Celtics. I get it. They're a good team, but they're missing Jason Tatum. So the only guy you really got to, worry a whole hell of a bunch about is Jaylen Brown. Yeah, Peyton Pritchard can kill you a little bit. Derek White can kill you a little bit. But you can't be up by 33 points and still be afraid to play your bench players. You know what I'm saying? Like, the thing is, Tom Thibodeau's method of coaching means if you're not good at defense, you're never going to play. And because you're never going to play, you're never actually going to get better at defense. Like, you have to play. You have to gain experience to become better at anything. You just have to, repetition is everything, and everything in life, okay? No matter what it is, repetition is what separates the people from being good and being great at something. You know, the longer you do something, the better you're going to get at it. But if your head coach doesn't trust you enough to play you a minute and a half when you're up by 33 fucking points, I don't know what to tell you, Brody. You need to find another team to go to this offseason because it clearly ain't the Knicks. But this whole thing is going to be a fun series. I just have an odd feeling in the back of my mind Thibs is going to fuck the minutes thing up. I think our bench can outplay New York. I don't think that's a problem. I think TJ McConnell is going to be TJ McConnell. Obi Toppin he's playing against the Knicks, so I think Obi Toppin's going to show out a couple games here. I like really fucking stick it to Tom Thibodeau. Like, oh, you had me, but you didn't want to play me, you stupid fuck. Like, I feel like that's what's going to happen here. In at least one of these games. But those are the things that are going to matter most. The bench play and how Tom Thibodeau manages the minutes of his starters. Okay? Because he's like, yeah, you can play, like he's gonna, I'm gonna tell you right now, he's gonna run the shit out of Josh Hart and he's gonna run the shit out of Mikal Bridges and probably OG Anunoby. Like, he's gonna run the shit out of them. By the time they're done with this series, they won't be able to walk for a week. They're gonna play 40 plus minutes, 42 plus minutes a game, and OG Anunoby probably won't, but Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges most likely will. And OG Anunoby will just rotate with Mikal Bridges maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the strategy is. For all I know, they could bring Josh Hart off the bench and start Anunoby. But I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of different looks in this series, different lineups, different rotations, because they do want to win, obviously. It just depends on whether or not Tom Thibodeau is going to fuck up the minutes. And when I saw that Celtic game the other night, I'm like, yo, bro, they're up by 33 fucking points and there's 6 minutes left and you still won't put your bench in? I have a feeling he's gonna fuck it up. I just do. I have a feeling he's gonna fuck it up. Because if you don't trust the players on your bench to play a minute to a minute and a half of ball, when you're up by 33 points with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, you're going to overthink playing against better teams. Just like he did against the Celtics, playing his starters with 6 minutes left and they're up by 33 points. Okay? Yeah, okay. Put them in, see what happens. If shit starts to collapse, all right, like if you're ahead by 33 points and you drop down to 15, oh, it's the end of the world. Okay, now we put the starters back in. But Tom Thibodeau's not that guy. Tom Thibodeau wants to run you out of the fucking gym. He wants to like, I don't know, break his players. I don't know what it is. I don't know what he has an issue with, but that was mind-blowing to me. And the idea that he is like, the game's over, they're still up, and he's still putting starters back in. I'm like, dude, like, give it a break. So I think that's the one thing that is definitely going to work in the favor of the Pacers in this series, is the idea that Tom Thibodeau, someone's going to get injured. I'm just going to call that. Someone's going to get injured. You cannot do that the entire playoffs. You just can't. So we'll see what happens, but tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report, and I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.